Before you start mapping a process, you need to be absolutely clear about what process you're going to map and why you need to map it. As an example, let me tell you about my friend Lucy, who runs a recruitment agency. Recently, Lucy's been having some challenges with her team who are booking holidays at the same time, leaving them short of staff. Lucy needs to get to the root cause of the problem, and one of the easiest ways to do that is to map a process using the Universal Process Notation, or UPN. If you'd like to learn more about UPN, check out our video, What is UPN? First thing you do when you start mapping a process is to be absolutely clear about which process it is you're going to map. So in this case, Lucy's going to map the booking a holiday process. You also need to understand where that process starts and where it finishes. We call this the scope. The starting point of Lucy's process is when the employee has identified dates that they want to take as a holiday, and the ending point is when that holiday has been booked into the calendar and approved by a line manager. Once you've mapped out the key steps, then you can start looking at the outputs for each activity. So this is what you'll have after you've done that piece of work. So for example, when the employee checks the calendar to see if there's dates available, you can start mapping out the key steps or activities in the process. With the activities in the correct order, you can then start to look at who does each of the activities. So in this example, you'll have the employee who's looking to book the holiday and the line manager who approves it. It's much better to use role names rather than actual people's names because people will change jobs over time. While you're mapping the process, lots of other useful information will become clear. Things like wasted time, duplication of effort. You may also be thinking about moving this process into some software system. So you'll need to know what are the key steps that you'll need to automate that process. You want to capture all of that information against each of the steps in the process so that you can use it later to improve. The most important thing to remember when you're mapping a process is to keep it simple and get other people involved. You want different people's opinions because that gives you different perspectives on the process, and make sure you understand what's really happening. At Skore, we map processes using the Universal Process Notation, or UPN, because it's the simplest and quickest way to capture processes with lots of different people and share them across the organisation.